Beware the Pig Butchering Scam, an article by Mike Adams. The pig butchering scam makes the Madoff Ponzi scheme look like pocket change. It's growing exponentially. The originating Chinese crime syndicates target Americans, Britons, Brazilians, Mexicans, and other nationalities. But be aware, these scammers have succeeded in siphoning off entire net worths of a large number of Americans. For the targeted men and women, it begins with an attractive young person who asks to be a friend on Instagram or Facebook or some other social medium. They might say that they were a former coworker or other contact. You don't recognize them, but they recognize you. And reviewing their profile shows them in a variety of activities. They enjoy golfing and dining at very upscale restaurants. They enjoy traveling with pictures of them in Paris, and London, or Singapore. They live in exotic locales like New York, Los Angeles, or London, and they have a business. And they say that they head up the company, and they'll talk about the meetings they have with their executives. They are extremely interested in you and want to know what you're doing and want to build a more intimate relationship. One day, they might tell you they made $100,000 that day. How? They work with a cryptocurrency manager, they'll say, and they're willing to refer you to the manager. And the question will casually come up, do you do stocks and bonds? And their answer usually is, well, that's slow and you can lose money. Then their manager asks you if you'd like to invest in crypto. And when you do, you double your money in one day. And so you add more. And once again, you make more money. The process is not simply about making money, though. The person claims to be falling in love with you. They look forward to meeting you in person. So you add more of your nest egg and you make even more. They profess their undying love for you as a person. So you put your whole nest egg into the cryptocurrency manager's care. You've made a lot of money in your account, and now you have an online friend who is in love with you. Then one day, they disappear. You check your crypto account, it's been deleted. Your online romantic contact, they've deleted their profile. It's all gone. You have been pig butchered. You have lost all of your money. This is how the pig butchering scam works. It seems to have begun in 2020 during COVID, when many of us worldwide were sheltering in place and loneliness was high. The focus is on lonely men and women. CNN detailed the story of a young man trained as a chemical engineer who had been out of work for 6 months when he applied for a job. The job happened to be in Thailand. He accepted and flew overseas. A driver picked him up at the airport, but instead of taking him to the office in Bangkok, instead drove him 7 hours to Mae Sot, a Thai town close to the Myanmar border. He was told he would be working in Mae Sot, and after spending the night in a hotel room there, another driver picked him up and drove him across the river into Myanmar and to a gated compound guarded by armed soldiers. Upon entering the compound, his passport was confiscated, and he was given a contract to sign to become a professional scammer. When he refused, well, he was thrown into what he described as a jail cell with no food or water. And after 3 days, he gave up and was willing to do whatever he had to survive. He had been trafficked. His managers set him up as a beautiful blonde woman and taught him how to scam. He would spend 16 hours a day engaging potential victims. He was to earn their trust and build a relationship. He claimed that 60 to 80% would fall for this fake love. He was to work through the night to contact and get victims hooked. For him, the targeted victims were Americans, Britons, Brazilians, and Mexicans. Once they were ready to invest, he turned them over to a manager who secured the investment. When the victims' accounts were emptied, the blonde and crypto accounts disappeared. Madoff's victims have recovered 90% of their original investment, but none of the bogus gains Madoff claimed to have made. Unfortunately, with the pig butchering scam victims, they will probably be left with empty accounts. The money has gone to Chinese crime organizations. We believe that many of the pig butchering victims had brokerage accounts and financial advisors. We can only guess as to why those financial advisors of those victims were not actively working to prevent victims from losing everything. And this concludes our article.